Good afternoon, everyone, and it's wonderful to be with you again. Today, we are going to look at sentence types, and this is lesson 4 in our grade 9 lesson scope that we're doing. I'm Mrs. Swart, and I'll be taking you through today's lesson. So, if we think of types of sentences, it's actually so simple. We think of things like there are statements. You can see the picture of the teacher standing pointing at someone, at something on the map. So what is she doing? She's showing them something. She could be making a statement. She could be asking a question. There are exclamations, and then there are commands or imperatives. Now, there's something very interesting about the exclamations, because an exclamation does not necessarily only appear in an exclamation sentence, but we'll have a look at that now. Our statements. Before I carry on the statements, I want to quickly remind you that at the end of this lesson, there's a quick quiz for you to do, and everything in the quiz is based on what we are doing here today. So when we look at a statement or think of a statement, what does it do? It supplies us with information. Oh, yes. And it can use an exclamation mark. When we get to exclamations, you'll see there's a tiny bit of a difference between the use of an exclamation mark in an exclamation sentence. So here we have something like, a statement is made, Sam is going to sing. Questions. Ask for information. You know, there's a question mark at the end of a question sentence. So it would be something like, what is Sam going to do? We're asking the question. Types of sentences. What do exclamation sentences show us? What's the difference between a statement sentence or even something like a command compared to an exclamation sentence? This is something I used to always be puzzled about, and it's very simple. Your exclamation sentences express emotions. It could be surprise, it could be fear, alarm, anger. There's an absolute host of different emotions that could be expressed here. So don't think it's limited to these 4. These are the only 4 that I've given as examples. You could say something like that is disgusting. So what am I showing? Disgust, discontent, unhappiness about something. That is disgusting. And you won't just hear it in someone's voice, you will see it in their faces as well. That, ugh, please, that's awful. So that's an exclamation sentence. There has to be an exclamation mark in an exclamation sentence, of course, and it will show us disgust or surprise or some or other emotion. Love is also a wonderful emotion. That is wonderful. And what is that then? Then we have this emotion linked to it. Okay, then the next one, commands or imperatives. So I've selected a soldier who's drilling people because he gives instructions, he gives orders. And remember this, it can use an exclamation mark. Take out your book. Get out of my class. Stop doing that. Those are orders or instructions. It's not saying, would you please? You're being told to do it. There's no option here. You've been given an order to do something. And that is what is important here. Now, we also have classifications of sentences, and I'm doing them alongside here with the types of sentences because they fit so well together. If we think of a simple sentence, what is a simple sentence? We know there's a subject, verb, and object, and the subject or the simple sentence here will have one finite verb. But what's a finite verb? Can you remember? We've done this before. It's a verb that can stand on its own. It deals with one idea. For instance, we could say Jackie sings. And it could stand on its own. It's a finite verb, sings. Or Jackie sings a song. And then we have added our object. So yeah, we have a simple sentence. And I want you to remember these simple sentences because you know what's going to happen. You are going to land up having to figure out compound and complex. And you're going to see that if you can't identify a simple sentence, you're going to have a problem identifying the rest. So it's important for you to make sure. If you know your simple sentence, And your magic words that we're going to learn, you're going to find you can do anything. A compound sentence, it has two or more finite verbs, and those are the verbs that can stand on their own. So it could be two or more simple sentences that are joined by coordinating conjunction and joining word. So let's look at this quickly. You'll see there's a beautiful fan at the bottom before I get to the example. It's called fanboys. Now, fanboys are our magic words that are going to help you identify the difference between a compound sentence and a complex sentence, especially if you're struggling to understand it. For example, Jackie sings in the concert and plays the guitar. The compound or coordinating conjunction rather that we're using here is and. And that's part of our fanboys because the F is for, and, nor, but, or, yet. And so those are our magic words that are going to help you to remember. If you remember fanboys and you link it to your compound sentences, it's going to assist you in identifying a compound sentence so much easier. But you need to remember the simple sentences as well. Otherwise, you could get mixed up. Go and make sure you draw this and you remember how to do it. Our complex sentence, it has one main verb or clause rather than independent clause. Then it has one or more subordinate clauses. I like to use just independent or dependent. Independent, it can stand on its own. Dependent, it cannot make sense on its own. It needs something to help it make sense. So if we look at this sentence, Jackie sang a song. That's an independent clause. It makes sense, perfect sense on its own. While she was waiting for her mother, after she had left church. While she was waiting for her mother, doesn't make sense. You need something to give it a bit of oomph to let you understand what it means. After she had left church also needs something to help to make sense of it. So remember this. And then we're going to do something called, some people might name it differently, Swabi. And what that is, these are our magic words. And what are they linked to? The complex sentences. Things like since, when, while, although, after, because, before, and if and in case. These are our conjunctions that are going to assist us to remember that we are doing complex sentences. Jackie sang a song while she was waiting for her mother, after she had left church. So here we have two of our conjunctions here. We've used while from the W in Swabi and after from the A. Do you see how easy it is to recognize these? It makes it so much simpler. It's going to take a lot of pressure off of you, and it's really going to help you a lot. So let's have a look quickly. We've looked at the simple sentence, compound and complex sentences, and I want you to go and try the quiz on your own after this. Okay, here it's been set out very nicely for you to show you. Jackie sang a song, main or independent clause, while she was waiting for her mother, dependent, after she had left church, dependent clause. So we can see here that the while and after relies on something else. It's subordinate to something else. I hope you're going to do very well in today's quiz. You know what I always say, practice makes perfect. So go and try the quiz and see that you learn all these little tricks that can assist you, the magic words, the magic that's going to help you. And you'll see that you can do it. There is the, I'm going to give you the QR code now. That is the link to complete the quiz. And the QR code is on the next slide. And I'm going to wish you the very best with your quiz. And hopefully you're going to do very well in this today.